Your Excellency, thank you for giving us the opportunity to present IFC supporting cross-border investment between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan. I have my colleague Zishan, head of Pakistan office, to introduce himself.
Is this working? Thank you.
Hi, good morning. My name is Zishan. I head IFC for Pakistan and Afghanistan. We're grateful, Waleed and I, to have an opportunity to talk to you a little about the way IFC views investment opportunities cross-border between Saudi and Pakistan. And the reason we're happy to have this opportunity is both Pakistan and Saudi Arabia are strategically critical countries for us. These are countries where we have significantly stepped up our engagement. And a big part of our role as a development institution is to promote cross-border investments by credible private groups in Saudi Arabia into Pakistan, but also credible Pakistani groups into Saudi Arabia. And that's really the crux of what we're going to present. We only have a few slides. Happy to then answer any questions later on. Waleed, do you want to kick us off?
Yes, we will talk today about IFC, International Finance Corporation, mega multilateral investment guarantee agency. I mean, since IFC started in 1956, we invested over 400 billion US dollar. Our focus is manufacturing, agribusiness service, financial institution group, infrastructure, trade and funds. And we are not only providing loans, but we participate in equity, mobilization, blended finance, upstream, structured finance, and trade finance. Also, we provide advisory, and it is very important in our region, providing PPP privatization, environment, corporate governance, social and environment, gender, and climate.
Maybe
this is some of the partners of companies.
Sorry.
Okay.
Just if you go to the last slide. Is this working? Yeah. Just to give you a sense of numbers. So IFC is the largest global multilateral that is focused entirely on investment in private sector. On average, we invest roughly around $55 billion across developing countries in the world. We only invest in developing countries. In Pakistan, we invested over $2 billion last year. And the idea really is to scale up what we do, not just in other countries around the world, but also in Pakistan. We'll talk a little more about what we're doing in Pakistan in the subsequent slides.
This is some of the partners that we worked with in Saudi, in Pakistan, and globally. I'll just highlight some of these companies, like Aqua Power. IFC worked over 10 years with Aqua Power, financed them in many countries, and we participate in equity. I'll give other example, Mara'i, Saudi German Hospital, and etc. But one of the things that we established many companies in Saudi, and it was the first company. Example of Saudi Home Loan, this is the first housing finance company over 15 years. And His Excellency Minister Musaddeq, he was part of us to advise us on establish the first housing finance company. You want to talk about some
I think
examples?
you covered the Saudi partners. Just to emphasize the fact that for us, supporting private sector, whether in the country of destination, whether that's in Pakistan or in Saudi, or bringing in global players, is a core part of our strategy. So the top left-hand corner is global companies that we in countries, and the companies at the bottom are in.
I mean, just to highlight what is our priority in Saudi. Cross-border investment, South-South investment. We worked recently with over 60 companies in Saudi Arabia, helped them expand their investment cross-border, and we invested over 4 billion US dollar. And also we focus on selective transaction that is first of a kind, like housing finance, insurance, leasing, and we do advisory, especially PPP, SMEs, corporate governors, and I will just highlight like first airport, Medina Airport, first private airport in GCC. This is done almost over 10 years ago, first health project, and overall it's a very profitable market for IFC Saudi Arabia, and it's a priority. And now I will ask my colleagues Zishan to take over to talk about Pakistan.
Thank you, Waleed. So just to give you a little bit of an overview on what we've been doing in Pakistan and how we view things going forward. So IFC has been active in Pakistan for over 50 years. We've invested in pretty much every sector of significance in Pakistan over the years. We've invested through all sort of cycles over the years, and we continue to grow our engagement in the country. Our experience in Pakistan overall has been positive. And there are two lessons we've learned from our engagement in Pakistan in particular, but also in developing countries. One, if you have a long-term view on the opportunities in Pakistan, the fundamentals of Pakistan, there is significant value to be generated from investments. As Waleed said, we have invested in equity and in debt across the country. We measure returns on our equity in dollar terms. We are profitable in Pakistan over the last 20, 25 years in terms of return on equity. That is despite some of the devaluation and other issues. That gives you a sense of the value that can be generated here. The second lesson we've learned is the importance of good partnership. And if there is one message, I'd like to leave with colleagues from Saudi, is identifying the right partners who are in it for the right values and the right vision that you have. For us, that has probably been the single most important lesson of investing successfully in Pakistan. And that is an area we can help. We have significant presence here in the country with Waleed and our growing office in Riyadh. Obviously, we have significant connectivity in Saudi. We consider it part of our role to help credible businesses on both sides connect. Just to give you a sense of some of the things we've been doing, we've been involved in several firsts in Pakistan on the infrastructure side, energy, LNG, transport side, financial sector, etc. We have grown our portfolio in Pakistan about 3.5 times in the last 2.5 years. And that is despite the relatively challenging 2.5 years that Pakistan has had. And the reason we have done that is because we believe in the long-term potential of Pakistan, and we learn from the experience we've had here over the years. Our annual commitments in Pakistan, which in 2022 were about $500 million, are now close to $2 billion, and we expect that number to go up going forward. If you go to the next slide, I'll only pick out a few things in terms of the sectors that we see as opportunities and are actively engaging in. Many of those have been highlighted by earlier ministers who spoke. We see the opportunity that exists in realizing Pakistan's export potential. It is a sector that is underrepresented by the private sector here. So for us, a key area of support is businesses that are in manufacturing that are looking to export. We are also very much focused on the climate and sustainability agenda. Anything on energy, transmission, distribution, transport, ports. We're also now very actively involved in the mining sector, particularly in copper, as was mentioned earlier. So for us, we see a number of opportunities across the infrastructure space as well as in the manufacturing space, where our focus is very much on enhancing competitiveness of Pakistani private businesses and realizing their export potential. And a lot of the time, again, in terms of our learning of being here in the market, is businesses here have capital, but are keen on access to foreign know-how. That is something that Saudi corporates who have exposure to other parts of the world can bring, so there is a lot of synergy that can be generated between the technical expertise and the capital that may come from Saudi groups with the Pakistani companies here that have ambitions to grow. So that's all on in terms of IFC. I wanted to just spend 2 minutes on MIGA. as you saw in the first slide, there are two parts of the World Bank Group that are relevant to private sector engagement. One is IFC, that provides financing, provides advice to private groups. The second is MIGA. MIGA is essentially an entity that provides risk insurance for foreign investors coming into developing markets. And there are a number of typical risks they cover. The three main categories are political risk insurance, credit enhancement, and then trade finance. Within political risk insurance, there is insurance for transfer restriction and convertibility, expropriation, war, civil disturbance. In credit enhancement, probably the most powerful tool that MIGA has is called non-honoring of sovereign obligations. And then the final one is on trade finance. These are very important covers that foreign companies, whether they're coming into Pakistan or other developing countries, can take advantage of. It provides them comfort. And again, MIGA has been active in Pakistan for several years. MIGA has a history of supporting almost $1.8 billion of FDI outside of Saudi going into developing countries. So we're again very happy to facilitate that dialogue for Saudi companies, foreign investors looking to come into Pakistan and provide the adequate cover that they need. I think we'll bring our presentation to a close. Thank you again for the opportunity. Again, very happy to support the initiative, both on the Saudi side as well as on the Pakistan side, to increase private sector to private sector engagement. Please consider us as a partner in this.
I mean,
thank you.
Finally, I would like to thank His Excellency Engineering Khalid Al-Faleh for his support for IFC and making this happening. And we assure you that our team in Riyadh and in Islamabad ready for Saudi companies or Pakistani company for any support that they need. Whenever they need, we are available. Thanks a lot for this opportunity. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.